Hello everyone and welcome to episode 111 of the WMMA 5 series here on the channel. As we'll see if I can get through this in one take. We might have to get the Mad Dog in here to finish the job. As I felt pretty bad when I woke up, but now I think I can record this. But we'll see. I've been trying to keep it easy for the past, really, the weekend. So we'll have to see how it goes here. But it's Pride FC Worldwide 21. Kato versus Hansen is our main event. It's going to be a bit of an interesting little card here because it's not the biggest as far as like name values, but I think there's a lot of great fights on this card. We do have only one piece of mail, and it's Ben Saunders, who's joined Hammer House after his big win at the previous show. So I mean, because it was only like I think a day in between the two shows. But yeah, the Bushido and Beijing card, which it's now ready to go as far as officially set. We're not going to have a prelim, but this is what it's looking like. Luis Santos, Dennis Hallman, main event. Of course, as far as, two people, former welterweight champions, battling it out. And this is a rematch. And then, Melvin Manoff and Chris Lieben, which, Melvin Manoff wanted this fight so bad, he's going to get it. And that's going to be the buffer between the semifinals and the finals of the Women's Grand Title Grand Prix. So Tara La Rosa is going to be the kind of mystery person, the eighth person to make it, and the final eight, the elite eight, if you will, of this Women's Grand Prix. She's going to take on Sotoko Shinashi, which I think the betting lines is like plus or minus 300 each way. Yeah, minus 430 right now. That was the latest odds. So it might get a little closer once we get to the actual fight, but that's what it's looking like right now. And so, yeah, let's get this thing ready to go before my voice goes out. It's Tetsuji Kato, Jakeem Hansen, our main event. Co-main event, though, Matt Hughes and Dan Hardy. That is a fun co-main. Now, I'm very excited to see how that one plays out. We have a lot of welterweight fights, 3 welterweight fights on this card, and 2 lightweights with 1 middleweight on the main card. It's obviously Matt Hughes, Dan Hardy, Drew Pickett, Thiago Alves, Gerard Musasi, Yushida Okami, Ryan Stout, Chris Lydle, Nate Diaz, and Joe Luzon to kick off the show. That's going to be very, very exciting. And then our 2 prelims, Guy Metzger and Krzysztof Zazinski, taking on Blagoy, Ivanov, and Bigfoot Silva to kick off the prelims. So that's going to be pretty exciting. We'll see how it goes here. As Tetsuji Kato main eventing for the 3rd time in the history of Pride, which is pretty crazy as far as Tetsuji Kato, the man who destroyed poor Matt Hughes' confidence and destroyed Matt Hughes as far as being a legit contender in the welterweight division. And Jakeem Hansen having a big opportunity here to take on Tetsuji Kato, which, Kato trains at Paressa, which Jakeem Hansen has a overall record of 1-1-1 against other members of that team. Tetsuji Kato's ranked 6th, Hansen's ranked 14th, first time they have fought. Jakeem Hansen's ranked 4th, or is Blurcast set picks 4-3, so he's got a slight advantage over Tetsuji Kato. Kato's kind of ran into a bit of a wall recently as far as after, he lost to Dennis Hallman and Matt Serra and George St. Pierre, but then he beat Matt Hughes to end out 2007. He beat Charles Bennett in April of this year. So on a 2-fight win streak, but it looked like it wasn't going his way after, it looked like maybe, after he beat Matt Hughes to be the champ, started going on a bit of a streak, but it's, it's looking up for him, at least, but, Jakeem Hansen is looking to really ride the lightning here. He's 5-2-1. He just beat Takanori Gomez after they had the loss and the draw, or had the draw, then the win, rather, as they still haven't had the trilogy yet, which I don't think they'll ever will, even though it was a split decision fight. But Wanda Braga lost to, which is tough, and they also lost to Ramiro Sato in the past. But this is a great win for him if he does get that win over Tetsuji Kato. Should be interesting, though. Should be very, very interesting in that main event. As our co-main, though. A fight that I'm very much looking forward to seeing if it fucking skips there. Jeez Louise. I don't know why it's not wanting to skip. Oh, great. It went too far now. Now we're going to skip. There we go. Matt Hughes and Dan Hardy, as Hardy has finished 3 of his last 5 opponents. Matt Hughes is ranked 13th. Dan Hardy is ranked 14th. Very, very close on the rankings there. First time they have fought, as Blurcast picks have a 1-6 with Mark J backing Matt Hughes Dan Hardy, I think this is his moment. Sure, he's 6-1-1, hasn't had a lot of big time names. I mean, he just beat Matt Serra, though, which is huge, and finished him as well. But, it's just crazy to think he lost to Paul Daly in his first ever fight. Paul Daly is a bit of a savage, obviously standing up with someone. He's very, very talented. But for Dan Hardy, I mean, this fight here, let's put him in the top 10 contention if he beats Matt Hughes, who just beat John Fitch in the past. As Mike Pyle, another one, he's also beaten Luis Santos, crazy enough. He's also beaten Dennis Hallman, He's beaten some names, but obviously the Tetsuji Kato losses, and the the Damian Maia losses, and the George St. Pierre losses have definitely hurt him as far as in the future. Regarding Matt Hughes, we're looking at the kind of end of his career, really, and he might have one more up his sleeve, though, against Dan Hardy. We'll see. And then Drew Pickett and Thiago Alves, as Drew the Master Pickett taking on Thiago the Pitbull Alves, as Drew Pickett, as he trains at Hammer House, as Alves has a little record of 1-0 against other members of that team. Pickett is the 20th ranked welterweight in Pride. Alves is ranked 23rd. First time they have fought, Pickett has a 5-inch reach advantage. Drew Pickett as the one backer in Jim, 1-6 on the Blurcat stat picks, even though Pickett has the 5-inch reach advantage. Thiago Alves is a savage. He's 3-1. His one loss came against Jake Shields. Pretty talented. It was his first fight in Pride FC, and that was by split decision too. I would like to see maybe that fight be run back now that we obviously have the 3 rounds. But here's a guy who took on Mike Swick at his first ever fight in the mod, and he's faced Claude Patrick in the past, and someone that 25 years old, he's looking to really make a name for himself. As Drew Pickett, 2 split decision wins back to back over Jake Shields and Eric Davila. He's beaten Mike Quickswick, someone who has obviously beaten him not once but twice before. Someone that Thiago Alves has had problems with, but his only losses in Pride FC have came from Jason Von Flue and Diego Sanchez, which even then, his 4 losses: Sean Pearson, John Alicio, Jason Von Flue, and Diego Sanchez. I mean, you got a former welterweight champion and 3 great welterweights, as far as in Pride FC. So, really no slouches at all. And we'll see how that one plays out. Then the Dreamcatcher, Gerard Musashi, taking on Yushin Thunder Okami. As this is the Pride debut for Okami, which he has the Volcat step pick 7-0, all packing Yushin Okami. But the Dreamcatcher, Gerard Musashi, is a fucking savage. Hasn't really had that success yet in Pride FC. 2-3, just lost to Fabio Maldonado, who's a savage though. And as far as he's only beaten Jason Miller and Ricardo Rana, he's only won during the 2-round era. So it's gonna be nice to see him actually face somebody and have a fight in 2008 in the 3-round era, and get a win if he can. But Yushin Okami, a absolute savage. Wrestling judo background. He's a high pressure guy. He's gonna look to keep you up against the ropes and really grind you out. He beat Ed Herman at UFC 119. That was his last fight. It's tough because he hasn't really fought like the same level of talent. Maybe like a Dean Lister. Other than that, it hasn't been the same. Well, Alex Schoonover too. But those guys are kind of prelim guys in the middleweight division, and here he is coming in ranked 18th in the Pride middleweight division. And this is going to be a big-time step for him. And then Ryan Stout and Chris Lydle. As Chris Lydle, 5-2 on the Blurcat staff picks. Lydle will have a significant weight advantage. First time they fought, though, they both have won 3 of the last 5 fights. Stout has finished his opponents, though, while Lydle's won by decision. Ryan Stout, lost in his Pride FC debut to Jason Von Flue, to the Von Flue choke, of course. Which that was a pretty fun fight, though, back in July at American Bushido 17. He's looking to get his first win in Pride FC, whereas Chris Lydle got his first win over Jake Ellenberger, thanks to going the distance with him and getting that win. It's on a 3-fight winning streak, too. You can't get out Chris Lydle, though. He's definitely faced, some tough guys. He'll beat Matt Serra not once but twice in the UFC during the start of the mod. Also beaten Robbie Lawler in the past. So that should be interesting as far as that goes. I'm excited for that fight. I think both guys can definitely bring it. And then Nate Diaz and Joe Luzon, 2 guys that want to fight each other. 2 guys that were obviously incredible as far as in their careers, and really at this time they're just a couple of young lightweights that want to put on a show, and this should be very, very exciting. So Nate Diaz and Joe Luzon, Luzon's finished 3 of his last 5 opponents. Diaz has finished 4 of his last 5 fights by decision. Diaz is going to have the reach advantage, and he's got the blur staff picks advantage by 1, 4-3. Very, very close, though. This could go either way. The undefeated Nate Diaz, 6 foot lightweight, that is just a absolute problem. Obviously, on the ground, a dangerous, jiu-jitsu high-level guy. And obviously, his boxing background is really nothing to fuck with. And Joe Luzon, a guy who's had 3 fights. He lost to Daisuke Nakamura in his debut at Shockwave 2005. Didn't have a fight in 06. Came back and has had like 1 fight each year. And now this is the first time he's going to get 2 fights in the same year since 2004. Which is pretty crazy to think about. He's still 20. Super fucking young, both these guys are. This should be very, very exciting, though, prelim fight. As then the Sandman, Guy Metzger taking on Krzysztof, the Polish experiment Szynski, as Krzysztof Szynski is looking to get a big win over Guy Metzger, as he's, kind of winding down his career. He's 40 years old. He's 5-10 on Pride FC. He's only won 1 out of his past 5 fights, which is not great, and as far as talking about his wins, he's beaten, like, Ricardo Arona, Egan Inoue, Daniel Gracie, and Henzo Gracie. All 4 of those names, besides Ricardo Arona, 3 of them are gone, and Alan goes, and Ricardo Arona, they're not, like, the great standouts of the middleweight division, so it's kind of embarrassing, but, he was a great staple for kind of, like, the first half of the mod. He even still a good fight with Alan goes and knocked him out here, too. It's crazy to think a 40-year-old man is having 3 fights in a year, but he's doing it, and I think that's very memorable, commemorable, Jesus Christ, for Guy Metzger. I'm very, very excited to see how that fight plays. I actually didn't even get to look at Krzysztof Szynski's record, even though he's 0-2 in Pride FC. Those are some fucking savages, though. Losing to Lyoto Machida and Keith Jardine is, it's nothing to hang your hat on. Usually I'm not happy when Bentley barks, but I actually needed a break. My fucking throat's starting to kill me here, but we're going to keep on going, as we have our final prelim fight to talk about, as Ivanov, taking on Bigfoot Silva, as Blagoy Ivanov, a top level judokan, and a nationally like a legit sambo guy. Won in his debut in practice against Marcio Cruz in July. Looking to get another win here against Bigfoot Silva. Both guys could use a big win here. As far as it's crazy to think he's lost to Alexander Emelianenko, which that's a tough guy to be fighting, though, and Alexander Emelianenko. But both guys could definitely use the fight. Bigfoot Silva, though, a 7-inch reach advantage. Pretty fucking crazy. He's going to have a significant weight advantage, too. He's going to have, like, 15 pounds on him. I would probably back Bigfoot Silva here. I'm going to go with the Blurcast staff picks here. That should be a very exciting fight, though, hopefully. Hopefully we have a pretty exciting fight here to kick off the prelim. Minus 150, though, for Bigfoot Silva. Plus 110 for Ivanov, as a little Bulgarian. And the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Brazilian. As this should be a lot of fun. And 5'11", 251, 6'4", 265. An absolute giant of a man. As our referee, Yuji Shimada. Ringside judges. As, it's almost comical to how tall Bigfoot Silva is compared to Ivanov. As they touch gloves. Ivanov fails the phone on his jab, but he lands the body shot. The left hand of the body is Ivanov moves forward, constantly trying to pressure him and exchanging strikes. There's a counter jab as he feints and causing Silva to move to one side, leaves himself wide open. And there's a jab, but Silva avoids the big left. They come together and strike again, as there's a right hand, but misses the big left. Silva misses the right hand. As now, again, Ivanov really doing a good job of pressuring Silva. He's walking him down. There's 2 left hands on the counter, though, from Silva. Ivanov throws 3 strikes, and he doesn't land any of them. As they engage now, he gets suckered in by a feint again. But does Silva, he misses the right hook, and gets countered with the right cross. They stand and trade shots. They're either off target or safely dealt with. They engage again. As Silva misses the right hand, allowing Ivanov to counter with a quick right jab and a left hook that's stuck. They step in to strike. As Ivanov he hits the jab, but can't hit the left cross. There's a 1-2 from Silva. 2 fighters go toe-to-toe, but they can't land anything significant. Silva shoots for the takedown. He's got it. That's very, very smart. Ivanov's on this back pulling guard. Silva pounds away, but he's unable to inflict much damage. Now he's trying to catch him with a punch, but it's off target. He fires with punches, but Ivanov doesn't take any undue damage. I'm waiting for him to kind of move in, but there's Ivanov trying to pull him in closer and peppering him short strikes, but he can't. Fires with punches, does little in the way of damage. We're going to see he's pretty much going to keep him there, looks like. Keeps him getting a few quick strikes. And Yujishima is going to stand him up. Both fighters engaged, missing the right cross, gets countered with the right hook. Ivanov rolls his shoulders, trying to relieve some tension there as he's built up and moves forward. Silva warily circling, looking for the opening he needs to get some grappling started. There's a quick 1-2, doesn't hit either of them though. Silva takes the chance and grabs Ivanov into a clinch. He tries to knee him, but he gets blocked there as Silva can't keep control of Ivanov in the grapple and soon being pushed around and looking for the judo throw. That actually doesn't happen though. That's pretty crazy. Silva wrests his way into a down position. Now clinches up with him up against the ropes. He's just going to put all that weight on him, I'm assuming. A few short punches to the ribs. Ivanov fights back, trying to get a foot stomp now, but he wrestles free and circles back to the center. There's Ivanov now, who is slowing down a bit, and so is Silva. And Silva looked like he was about to angle for a takedown, but couldn't take the initiative. There's a right jab, but finds out the around on the big left. Silva comes forward, willing to take a few shots that gets close enough to wrestle. There's 2 quick punches that doesn't hit either of them. Silva gets a hold of him. Final minute now. Ivanov out-wrestles Silva, takes control of the grapple, looking for a judo throw now. Doesn't work though, as Silva blocked and takes control of him. Silva hits Ivanov with a big knee strike to the body from the grapple. There's a knee strike to the body again from Silva to end out the round. Pretty close, but obviously, Bigfoot Silva had the takedown, landed the most strikes. Was really in his bag, especially when they were standing up in the clinch. It's really playing into Bigfoot's strengths, using his size to his advantage. It's not looking good, Ivanov, but I think he could still save this performance, though, and maybe win a second and a third. We'll see. 2 fighters engaged. Silva dodges the left hand and counterattacks with a nice right hook. Never mind. Ivanov is blown up as he moves in, preparing to throw. Can't connect with a jab. Hits the big left hand, though. The exchange of strikes doesn't go anywhere as Ivanov throws a punch, but Silva was equal to it. They're seizing that chance, grabs him into a clinch, catches him with a knee strike to the body. Another knee strike to the body, trying to muscle against the ropes. He does so. He's got him pinned. There's stomps on his foot now. Looking to go down low and grab both his opponent's legs. He does so, so it's 2 for 2 on takedowns for Bigfoot Silva. There's some right hands. Does fairly minimal damage, though. Trying to sweep him from the bottom. Doesn't budge him, though. Ivanov seems to be fighting against exhaustion. Pounds weight with rights doesn't do much damage. Doesn't look like he has much left in the tank as Silva either, so both guys are going to be blown up going into the third. That should be fun, as that's the heavyweights for you. If they don't finish him in the first round, it's going to be a shit show. So Ivanov tries to sweep him, but he can't. Throws a few strikes around Venom, though, trying to transition the guard. Can't manage it, though. Fires off a few punches. They aren't throwing with any great force. Is now looking for a separation, as then he quickly tries to scramble to a better position. He may regret that, though. It gives Silva the perfect opportunity he needs to get Sag and throw down to the round. I mean, I don't think he did anything while he landed 1 shot. I didn't even think he would have landed 1. But it was 2 powerful shots, though, from both guys. But again, Silva just working him. So there's a large bruise starting to develop from the side of Ivanov, who may have been, may well have a cracked rib after that. His final round begins. Move forward constantly. Ivanov is pressuring Silva. There's a counter left hand. There's a 2-punch combo from Ivanov, but Silva avoids both of them. There's another 1-2, but Silva was equal to it. He gets a hold of him now. The Silva prevents the knee strikes. Is Ivanov tries to get a knee strike going, but again that gets blocked. There's a knee strike to the body now. Trying to muscle up against the ropes. He does so. Got him pinned. Looking for another takedown. 3 for 3. He just couldn't stop him. Yeah, he just couldn't stop the takedown. Is the story of Ivanov here, as he gets pulled in tight, stopping him from peppering any shots in, trying to stop him from posturing up. Yeah, I mean, they're just going to stay there probably till the end of the round. Looking for a double underhooks, but he can't get it. There's some small strikes again, trying to pass guard. He passes, though. It's only in the half guard. I think that's the first time someone's passed this fight. And that's the end of the fight. Your winner by unanimous decision will be Bigfoot Silva. Probably rated decent. Yeah, I mean, makes sense. As, making that 4-2. As Blagoy now 1-1 in Pride FC. As Antonio Bigfoot Silva gives an inning trick to everyone at GB Thai, as all of his various sponsors and all of his friends, famous supporters. As showing respect, he praises Ivanov for his skill and toughness. So our last prelim, Guy the Sandman Metzger taking on Krzysztof Szynski as 12-6, 27-18-2. Can the Polish experiment, Krzysztof Szynski, get his first win in Pride FC, or can the veteran, the gatekeeper, get another win under his belt here to end out 2008? We shall see. As plus 100, minus 110, and is very close on the betting lines. TriStar Gym lines in, of course, for Guy Metzger, kickboxing background, wrestling, jiu-jitsu. I mean, this might be a, striker versus grappler type of scenario. It seems like that's going to be the case. We'll see what happens. Hideki Nagumo's the referee, ringside judges. Here we go. They touch gloves. There's a left hand from Metzger, but Szynski avoids the big right. There's a left hand from Szynski now. And a jab lands from Metzger, but Szynski avoids the big right. Fails the phone to miss gently and catches him with the right hook. Can't connect with the jab, it hits a straight right hand. And there is a gash underneath the eye of Szynski. Now he's able to clinch up with him now, trying to push up against the ropes. He does so. Get him up against the ropes. He's pressed against the ropes. They exchange short punch to the body for a minute. Szynski looks to try and maintain control via his wrestling skills, but Metzger works enough space to clear out the circle. As he can't connect the step strike, scores with the right to the body. There's a left hand. Jab lands from Metzger, but Szynski is evading the punch. Szynski looked like he was angled in the grapple, but couldn't take the initiative. A jab lands from Metzger, then can't connect to the head kick, though. Another jab that fails to land, but he scores the right cross. Metzger's throwing a lot of strikes at him as he connects with the two left jabs, but misses the big right hand that follows it up. Fails the opponent's jab, hits the nice straight right hand. Fails the jab again, but follows up with a right hook. There's a weak tentative jab from Szynski. There's a 1-2 from Metzger. Doesn't land either blow, though. The halfway point in the round. Metzger with another 1-2, but Szynski avoids both of them. Is able to clinch up with him. Got him up against the ropes. His ability to control his opponent, smothering him against the ropes. They had just dirty boxing each other for about a minute. And now Hideki Nagumo is going to stop the fight to check on the cut. It's not like it's too much of a problem right now, as we have to restart now, as Metzger's starting to slow down. As he can't connect with the jab, it hits a right to the side of the ribs, looking confident, shortening the range. There's a 10 in the left hand. There's a left jab and a right from Metzger, which has now reopened that gash. As he connects with the jab, it hits the big right hand, misses the big right hand that falls up. There's a nice jab and a straight right. Szynski may have been aiming to get in close, but Metzger, again, aggressively taking the initiative, doing everything he can to keep this fight going standing. As there's a left and a right. There's a left jab, but misses the vicious right. Another left hand, but misses the vicious right. As Szynski comes forward, aggressively comes forward, willing to risk getting hit if that gets close enough to grapple. There's a two-punch combo that doesn't hit, so that's going to give Szynski the chance to clinch up with him. Looking for that late round takedown, not happening, though. Looking for it a second time. Can't get him down again. How about the Sandman not going out without a fight? He has definitely won that round, that is for sure. Outstruck him, did a lot of damage, stuffed the takedowns too. Great job by Guy Metzger. We'll see what happens in the second. As Szynski's getting worked on by the cut man, round 2 begins. As a jab lands from Metzger, finds a good air on the big right. Szynski gets a hold of Metzger without taking too much damage using his wrestling skills. Szynski's trying to push him against the ropes. Ends up back against the ropes. His ability to control opponents. Szynski's simply smothered Metzger against the ropes now. Full minute passes. Two opponents just pressed up against each other, hitting each other short punches to the body and the side of the head. Szynski's trying to maintain control but Metzger wrestles his way out of treble circles back to center, stiffly slowing down now as Guy Metzger, 40-year-old man, doesn't have the stamina to really fight for 25 minutes, or 20 minutes rather, as I don't know as they get the 25 for, but a 20-minute, fighting time is a lot. Has taken a few gulps of breath now. Szynski's given the first inning, starting to tire touch. Metzger lands a left hand that hits Szynski with a straight right. As Szynski appeared to be going for a takedown, but Metzger couldn't take the initiative. Can't hit the step left jab and scores with the right cross. So halfway point, as it looked like we were trying to see Szynski try and get some grappling started, but Metzger was more aggressive, took the initiative. There's a punch, but Szynski was equal to it, looking very tired now. Szynski looking for the takedown. Can't complete the single leg. Ends up standing and holding a leg while Metzger is hopping in place. Can't get him down. Just going to push him against the ropes again. And a little bit of the same thing we just saw. As, again, just going to keep him against the ropes. I don't like it, but I get it. He won that round, unfortunately. We'll see what happens in the third. As Metzger looks confident, shortening the range. As this is looking like he's trying to get a shot in, but Metzger simply took the initiative. There's a left jab, but Metzger misses the big right. Can't connect sub strikes. There's a nice straight right hand again. Appeared to try to get in close. Metzger took the initiative there. Another can't hit the sub left jab, but scores with the right hand. Acknowledges some of the some instructions from the corner with a relaxed nod of the head. Moves in closer, looking to open up an attack. Szynski had looked like he was angling for the takedown tip, but couldn't take the initiative. It's a 1-2, but Szynski was equal to it. There's two quick punches now. It doesn't hit either of them. Clear opportunity. Szynski's able to move in fast and clinch with him. As clinched up with him now, looking for the takedown, can't get it. Metzger is very, very tired now. As I know, halfway, a little bit under halfway of the final round here. As he's trying to muscle him against the ropes, he does so. Complete control now. Minute of just hitting each other with short punches to the side of the head. Still just kind of grappled up against the ropes. Looks like, that's pretty much it, because he is just fucked. He's blown up. He's getting out, just outworked here, basically. As they have been stuck against the ropes for quite a while, so now finally the referee's going to break them up, even though it's the end of the fight, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, it looks like Krzysztof Szynski is going to win this one. Looks like, well, Maybe not. We got some controversy because obviously he won the 2 5-minute rounds, but Sandman won, the 1 10 minutes. So either way, how you slice it, whoa, it's gonna be guy massacred by split decision. I'm okay with that because really, Szynski, he didn't do like damage wise, as far as he did outstrike him, but Metzger stuffed all the takedowns. But yeah, I mean the third round was all Szynski. I guess you could say the second round was kind of close. So maybe there is that. But if someone was to win that one, honestly, I'm very happy it was Guy Metzger because of the damage done. But yeah, that's a great win for the Sandman. And honestly, Krzysztof Szynski, even though he's 0-3, usually would give someone a 4-fight deal. But I just, he was the favorite to win this one. He should have probably won this one, I guess, depending on how you judge it. But I think we're going to send him down the rings. I think that's for the best for him, honestly. As he gives a name check to everyone at the Lions Den, is all of his various sponsors, all of his friends, family, and supporters. Guy Metzger says that he can't believe that all the judges didn't award him the win. He felt like he was the clear winner. So our main card opener, Nate Diaz, Joe Luzon. As Nate Diaz goes up against Joe Luzon, he gets 5-0, 6-1. Two different sides of the U.S., Stockton, California, and East Bridgewater, Massachusetts. As 5'10", 161, 6 foot, 161. Pretty tall lightweights, as far as that goes. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu boxing background. Of course, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for Joe Luzon, Ricardo Almeida, Jiu-Jitsu, Cesar Gracie, Jiu-Jitsu. Both in, this is going to be awesome. Both in the minuses. Big John's our referee. Ringside judges, here we go. They don't touch gloves, not even attempt to do that. There's a right jab and a left hand from Diaz, which there, we got a cut, a nasty one on the scalp. That is not good. As they launch an attack, there's a right hand from Diaz. There's a quick 1-2, doesn't hit either. None of them hit, rather. Jesus. Exchange of a few strikes, nothing significant lands. Luzon with the attack, steps into the pocket. 2 punches doesn't hit either of them, though. And now Diaz is starting to talk some trash. They come together and trade strikes. Two fighters tentatively engage now. There's a right hook. Diaz doesn't connect to the left hand. Two combatants meet in the center. They start to strike. As he doesn't connect to the right hand but misses the left hook. Luzon misses the right hand. Two fighters come together and strike, but it's really tentative. Nothing comes of it. And now they're going to check on that cut, which luckily it's not going to be a problem. They restart in the center. Diaz comes forward, walking down Luzon as he manages a counter jab. Showing good hand speed here. Diaz lands 2 out of a flurry of 5 and then hits the straight left. Pair of jabs in the exchange and 1-2 from Luzon. They stand and train in the center of the ring. Neither fighter can land a good shot. They come together and strike. Diaz lands a punch to the body. Luzon can't hit the right cross. As exchange of strikes sees both fighters failing anything significant. They meet in the center, start to strike. There's a left jab and misses the right hook. There's a left jab and can't hit the left cross now from Diaz. Halfway point, they're still standing. No one's trying to take down attempt yet, but they can't land anything damaging as of right now. Two fighters miss again with some significant strikes. Appear to be good try to get in close, but Diaz took the initiative. As there's a jab, nothing but air on the big right, or on the big left rather. Of course, it's Diaz, the southpaw. Can be heard again trash talking as Nate Diaz. I'm not surprised. Waiting for the Stockton slap to come in as he slips past the right hook and attacks with a few quick jabs, followed by a leg kick. They meet in the center. Luzon misses the big right hand, pulling off balance and allowing Diaz to attack with quick jabs. They're followed by a hook to the body that fails to land. They meet in the center. There's a left hook. Showing good technique as Diaz blasts his opponent with a 4-punch combination with a shot to the body. There's a jab that finds his right cross blocked. There's 4 quick punches and lands 2 of them. Lands a right hook to the body. Diaz comes forward and the two fighters trade blows. There's a counter jab that misses. Lands 2 of the 3 quick punches. Misses the vicious left. Stalking forward, pressuring Luzon. Luzon hits a counter left hand as Diaz connects with 2 right jabs, but Luzon steps back to avoid the left to the body. As both fighters meet in the center, there's a left hand from Luzon. Scores the 2 punches out of the floor. He does connect to the left hand. Both fighters come together and strike, dodging the right hand and counterattacks with a couple of jabs, followed by a solid left hand. They come together and strike. Diaz dodges the right hand, counterattacks with a jab, a couple of jabs that are followed by a left hand to the body. That's too short though. Very good round though. Definitely Diaz, showing that boxing background, really laying it into him. We'll see what Joe can do in the second, if he can do anything at all. As both fighters come together and strike. Luzon missing the big right hand, and here comes Diaz on the counter with a brace of jabs, followed by a left hand to the body. That's too short though. There's a left cross from Luzon. Lands a flurry of quick punches. Finds the big left hand block though. A few gulps of breath now. Diaz is starting to give the first inning, starting to tire. Obviously being on the offense for most of that first round makes sense. There's 2 counter right hands from Diaz. There's a jab and a right hook from Luzon as they come together and strike again. Missing the big right hand. Here comes the counter with a couple of quick right jabs. Another left hand that nearly fails to connect. Another counter as Diaz comes in with a jab and left roundhouse kick to the body doesn't connect. As a jab and a right hand that's taken on the gloves. I mean, just Nate Diaz is just outclassed them here. I mean, just he's too much of a boxer for him, and Luzon can't get in close. As there's another reopening of that gash above the forehead. As Luzon comes forward on the attack, there's a counter jab and misses 1-2, but that was equal to Diaz. Steps forward looking to strike again. Two right hands from Diaz. A quick 1-2, doesn't land either blow though. For the first time now, Luzon's starting to breathe a little heavier. Luzon misses the right cross, leaving someone for the counter. Diaz comes in with a jab and a good left hook. Flurry of 3 punches from Diaz. Sees 2 of them land, but Luzon steps back to avoid a left of the body. 2 counter right hands. A left jab, but Diaz avoids the big right. 2 fighters stand and trade. Strikes, but neither land anything damaging. End of the round is coming quick. There's under a minute left now. Both fighters step in to strike. Luzon scores the jab, but has a right hook blocked. Diaz nails 1 quick punch from a flurry, but misses the big left hand. The 2 fighters come together and engage. Luzon's off target with a left jab, but scores with the right hook. Diaz scores the jab, but has a left hand blocked. As now Big John's going to stop the clock again right before the end of the second and check on that cut. And it is a fight ender, which I'm okay with, to be honest, because I think Diaz was going to win that fight. So we're going to get a TKO win due to a cut, which usually we hate to see a cut stop a fight. But honestly, it wasn't any type of controversy on who was going to win that fight if they would have gone the distance. As you see there, 64-14. I mean, he was just outclassed them the whole time. Nate Diaz was, but fun fight though. It sucks to see someone lose like that, but at the same time, he was going to lose anyway. So I think that kind of helps with the sting a little bit. As Nate Diaz gives an name check to run at Caesar Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, all of his various sponsors, all of his friends, famous supporters. Ask who he wants to fight next. He demands a fight with Rafael dos Anjos, which will be pretty fucking awesome. The undefeated Nate Diaz keeping it going as our next fight, our welterweight fight, and it's very close to the betting lines yet again as Ryan Stout takes on Chris Lights Out Lydle. Indianapolis, Indiana. Koya, Ohio. 16-9-1, 17-9-4. Mixed martial arts for Ryan Stout. Boxing Jiu-Jitsu for Chris Lydle. This should be a lot of fun though. Another Gracie guy, but this time Hinzo Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. And then Team Quest for Ryan Stout, minus 180, plus 140. Pretty close height and weight. You know, if they both weighed in 183, we'll see if that's going to be changed. Big John's going to stay out there, ringside judges. Yeah, Chris Lydle fighting a little bit heavier. I'm assuming 195, maybe even 200. As round 1 begins, the 2 fighters touch gloves, maybe even 190, as they stand and trade strikes. Neither can land anything damaging, as 2 fighters come together and engage. So there's a quick exchange of strikes, but nothing managed to land anything significant. Stout does a 2-punch combination, but Lydle maintains his good guard and safe. Missing a jab, it also doesn't reach with the hook to the body. There's a left jab, and Lydle's able to avoid the big right. And Lydle's able to seize that chance, grab him to a clinch. Let's see what he does here. But Stout doesn't let himself be driven back. Now he's got the dominant position in the grapple, trying to muscle up Lydle. He does. Looking for the takedown. Can't get it, though. That's a good defense there. And he's able to use that wrestling to turn him around, so now he's got control. Looking for the trip. He's got it. It's a slick trip. There's now some knees to the ribs from as Stout's taking a couple. I mean, that's like 3 or 4 knees. Looking for the armbar. Stout fights it off though. Prevents Lydle from connecting fully with a knee strike as he squirms away. There's a knee strike just above the hip. As Big John was gonna stand and back up. That was relatively fast as they come together in a clinch. Lydle manages to control it. Gets caught with a knee strike to the body. As he catches him, a knee strike to the body, the grapple. Lydle's throwing a lot of knees here. Trying to wrestle him up against the ropes. Can't do it though. Stout defends it well. Gets caught with a knee strike to the body. Looking to muscle him up against the ropes. He does so. Now he's got him pinned. Looking for the trip. He's got it. It's a superb outside leg trip. Some more knees to the ribs. Some more knees to the ribs. I mean, Chris Lydle's, he had a game plan. He absolutely had a game plan. Punching down. They're easily taking on the gloves. Minute left. Some more knees to the ribs. Big John's going to stand him up. Both fighters move in and engage. There's a left hook from Stout. There's a left hand from Lydle. Both looking like they're southpaws here. Stout gets a hold of him now. Looking to muscle up against the ropes. He can't let himself be driven back, though, to end out the round. Great round for Chris Lydle. I mean, that's all you can say, really. Ryan Stout came in slow off the blocks. So I would say that one. But, yeah, it's a pretty exciting round, though. As you can definitely see now that there's feeling the effect of those knees to the ribs. Second round, there's a 1-2. Doesn't land either blow, though. Stout gets a hold of him now. Looking for a knee strike to the body now from Stout, as he's looking to kind of give him a little bit of his own medicine. He's now looking for the takedown. He's got it. It's a great start here from this second round for Ryan Stout. Looking to pass, can't secure it though. As Stout ends up being on his back, losing out on scrambles. That sucks for Ryan Stout. Lydle begins trying to get his leg free, can't though. Now Stout is ready for the scramble. Stout scrambles to his feet. Lydle immediately drives him against slopes, looking for the trip. 3 for 3 on takedowns. You hate to see that for Ryan Stout. As now, Lydle look for the Kimura. Can't happen though. Some more knees to the ribs. Now some elbows. He's unable to land anything clean though on Stout though. And there's 3 big elbows, clearly hurting him on that last one. Now he's just going to turn away to give up his back instead. Saved by the bell is Ryan Stout there, as Chris Lydle is looking to finish him here in the third. They clinch up, they engage. Trying to wrestle him backwards against the ropes. He does so. There's a hard foot stomp. Looking to get a sweep. Great sweep there. He's got, again, just Chris Lydle is a man possessed. He's looking for mount. Loses it though, and there's a scramble. Scramble leaves Stout underneath him in north-south. A few, shots to the ribs. Nothing really with any danger or power behind him. He's just looking to maintain control and just kind of ride this one out, if I had to guess. As now he's moving to side control. Looking for an arm triangle. Under the side control now, takes a couple of knees to the ribs, looking to get mount. He's ready for it, and the scramble begins as Lydle manages to come out on top of him. Lydle's very tired there. Very tired though. Jesus tries to counter the pass attempt, and they find himself scrambling for position. Minute left. Stout ends up grabbing him, shoving him against the ropes. Let's see what Ryan Stout can do now with control. Well, nothing. Looking for it a second time, though. Can't do it either. As, Chris Lyle's going to win that one by unanimous decision. Makes sense. Pretty good fight, though. I do have to agree with that. As 18-9-4, 2-0 for Chris Lydle and the Pride FC. We've been waiting on Chris for a long, long time, so it's very awesome to get him in here, and he's able to do really well. Ryan Stout, unfortunately, going to make that 16-10-1, making that 0-2 in Pride FC. Not great, but he's had some good fights, though, because I want to say his last fight was also, him and Von Flu had a pretty good one, too, so. That's just, that welterweight division, there's a lot of tough guys. You're going to earn it when you win a fight here in Pride FC. As Chris Lydle gives an name check to everyone at Hinzo Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, all share sponsor. Great day for the Gracies, as both, Nate and Chris Lydle getting wins as part of their Gracie fight camps, as then all of his sponsors, all of his friends, family, and supporters. Says has a lot of respect for Ryan Stout, praises his toughness. Strad Musasi, the Dreamcatcher, looking to shock Yushin Thunder Okami in his Pride FC debut, 9-4, 12-2. This is probably the farthest the betting lines have been as far as on the main card. As 6'2", 205 from the Netherlands, Strad Musasi, kickboxing judo background, part of the Aviani Combat Club, coming in as a plus 200 underdog. As Yushin Thunder Okami, on the other hand, on the other side of the coin, coming in at 6'2", 205 from Kanto, Japan. Kanagawa, Kanto, Japan, to be exact, is 12-2. Wrestling judo background, so both have a judo background. Pancreasism, fight camp, minus 260. Yuji Shimada's a referee, ringside judges. Okami getting a good reaction from the home crowd tonight as we are underway. They touch gloves to start off. Musasi lands a jab and catches Okami with the right hook. That's a great start from Musasi. Jab lands, but finds something there on the big right. Okami trying to get in close, but there's, Gerald Musasi doing a great job. There's a left jab and catches him with a spin kick. They come together in the over-under. Musasi has a down position in it. Knee strike there. Musasi quickly gets out grappled, though. Okami looking for the Muay Thai clinch. Slips out of it. Way to go, Musasi. There's a flurry of 3 punches from Musasi, and then there's a lovely right head kick that probably is going to get him on his wobbly legs now, as that last blow has really hurt Okami, staggering backwards, covering up the best he can. Holy shit, a flying knee. It hits, but not fully. That's insane that he landed that, though. And there's a right head kick trying to finish him off, but it only glances off the forearm. Oh my god. Gerard Musasi is sensing, just violently trying to end this one as he's circling back now. He's somehow got his wits about him. That was insane. As Musasi's able to clinch up with him, wrestle up with him, trying to muscle him against ropes. He does so. There's a few punches to the ribs now. They're just looking for the judo throw. That gets blocked. Of course, obviously, 2 high-level judokins. As now setting up for the judo-based throw. Blocks the first throw, then turns down. Musasi's the one on his back now, looking for a judo throw again. Yeah, this time, Musasi can't stop him. As time slipping away now, so Okami just successfully keeping him stuck against the guard. He knows that he's probably lost this round, but he's just looking to end out on top, if I had to guess. Oh, just a lay and praise style. Don't love that, though. There's a couple of small strikes just keeping close body-to-body contact, though. As he has to lean back to avoid a couple of wild swings from Musashi from the bottom. Keeping very tight again. Deflects a couple of bunches thrown from the bottom. Is controlled against the ground, is unable to shift him off him. Now, the referee's going to stand him back up. That's a good job there as they come together and start wrestling in over-under position to clinch. Musashi's the aggressor. Can't keep control of him, though. Soon being pushed around, trying to get a more tight clinch again. And, Musashi now wrestles way into a down position. The grapple blocks Musashi from throwing a knee. Looking for the big knee strike. He hits it, though. Looking for another one. He hits it again. Final minute left. Can Musashi somehow finish this one? Isn't going anywhere, though, Okami. He's trying to push Okami so his back is against the ropes. He does so. He's got him pinned. Looking for a judo throw to end out the round. Musashi doesn't get thrown. So Okami wrestles his way into controlling the grapple instead. Great first round. I would have to give that one to Musashi just for almost finishing that fight. That was crazy. The head kick into the flying knee. That was pretty electric. As the red marks on the body of Okami showing clearly how many blows to the ribs he's taken already, just in that first round. Here comes round 2. Okami steps in and works his way into a dominant position in the clinch. He's trying to force Musashi into a Muay Thai clinch. Wrestles his way into a dominant position in the grapple instead, though. Using his wrestling skills, Gerard Musashi is trying to push Okami up against the ropes. He can't do it, though. Okami defends it well. So Musashi hits Okami with a big knee strike in the grapple. I mean, he is just on one with these knee strikes. There's another knee strike to the side of the stomach. There's some more knee strikes. I mean, Christ, somebody throwing the towel at this rate. And now Musashi looking for a judo-style throw. That's not happening, though. Looking for it a second time. That also gets blocked, and this time Musashi's the one up against the ropes. Let's see what Okami does. And he just lets, some 30 seconds elapse. Very little happening other than the occasional sharp punches. He's trying to get himself. He's fighting it off, looking for the Muay Thai clinch as well as Okami. Gets out wrestled, though, and ends up now that Okami's back to where we started. As there's a hard foot stop, looking for a judo-style throw, and he sweeps him down. There's a quick elbow, doesn't connect, though. Doesn't allow Okami to lock him up with underhooks. Fires away with punches, is a little on the way of damage, and then out the second round. Yeah, Gerard Musashi has won these first 2 rounds, and it looks like it's going to be an upset over Yushin Okami in his debut. But we'll see, though. It's still anything can happen in this third if Okami's able to finish him here. But they hurt a huge purple bruise that adorns his rib area. It's the third round now. They clinch up. Musashi's the aggressor. Tries to hit with a knee strike to the body as they grapple. Is trying to push Okami so his back's against the ropes. Achieves it, pinning Okami against the ropes. With Okami stuck against the ropes, Musashi's trying to set up the judo throw. And he sweeps him down. He tossing him. And it's a beautiful hip throw. Gets side control. Throws a few strikes. So it's clearly slowing things down so he can catch his breath. Looking for the arm triangle. Okami defends himself well and is in no danger. Musashi blocks Okami as he tries to transition the guard. Musashi looks to get a mount. He shifts the mount. He pounds away as Okami is definitely rocked now. This has got to be over. And now he's going to give up his back instead. So he's got both hooks in. That's all she wrote. Looking for the rear naked choke. Gerard Musashi's not fucking around. And that is for sure. Obviously, very dangerous guy, and I'm happy to see him finally get his big win here in Pride FC over Yushin Okami, where, he basically, I would say he dominated that fight, to be honest. Sure, Okami had a takedown and landed like 20 strikes, but still, really that first round is kind of all he had, and even in the second, he was trying to get things going up against the ropes, but nothing too crazy, and just, that's a great win for him, though. That's for sure. He gives his thanks to everyone connected to the Abiani Combat Club for everything for the fight and the sponsors supporting him financially. So another fight here. We got Drew Master Pickett taking on Diego Pitbull Alves. It's Diego Alves, 10-5. Coconut Creek, Florida, 5'9", 183, 25 years old. Is Drew the Master Pickett, 15-4, Tucson, Arizona, 5'10", 183. As wrestling judo background, Muay Thai background for Diego Alves. As the GB Thai MMA camp for Diego Alves, Hammer House from Drew Master Pickett, plus 140, minus 180, pretty close, but, Diego Alves, who I believe is ranked lower than him, because, he's 23rd, and I think Pickett's like 18th on his 20th, so pretty close there, but this should be pretty exciting, though. Yuji Shimano's referee, ringside judges, here we go. They touch gloves. Pickett may have been aiming to get in close, but Alves aggressively took the initiative. Combined into the spinning kick to the leg, or spinning back kick, rather, fails to land for Alves, and Pickett was ready for it. He manages to catch that kick. Looking for the takedown. He's got it, too. Looking for the guillotine, though, as Alves looking for the guillotine. Pickett is now the one in trouble, but he pulls his head free. Now Alves fights off Pickett as he tries to smother him against the ground. Pickett doesn't allow Elvis to pull him in close to be smothered. A few right hands to the body, trying to sweep him, but that's not happening. Throws a few right hands without any great force, though. And there's a glancing elbow strike off the top of the head from Alves from the bottom. There's a few relatively weak-looking right hands. Alves has to throw some punches out, but Pickett leans back to avoid him. He keeps him guessing a few quick strikes. Juju Shimano rightfully standing him back up. Looked like we were about to see a grapple from Pickett, but couldn't take the initiative. Can't connect with a jab, but he scores with a right roundhouse kick to the ribs. As he attempts a left jab, it misses. The big head kick that follows. There's a nice jab and a straight right that lands hard. There's a jab and then a vicious right head kick to the side of the head. That's probably going to knock him out cold. It does. I mean, Thiago Alves is a fucking savage. To have a welterweight with that type of power in those head kicks is going to be definitely giving a lot of guys problems for sure. Making it 11-5. He's going to be taking on some top 15 guys in the future, that's for sure. As for Drew Pickett, tough loss. 15-5. Though he is going to be 3-3 in Pride FC. We'll see how he does in the future, though. Thiago Alves is a tough son of a bitch. He gives thanks, he's praised his team, and his various sponsors who came out to support him, and says it's a tough fight, and gives show respect to Drew Pickett. So our co-main event, Matt Hughes taking on Dan the Outlaw Hardy. 6-1-1, 31-8, Hillsborough, Illinois, Nottingham, England, 6'1", 183, 5'9", 183. Of course, Matt Hughes, the older veteran, has a lot more fights under his belt, but him being, this is wrestler versus kickboxer. The kickboxer having the betting lines is a bit nuts, because I think it's going to be a Matt Hughes win, to be honest. I just think Matt is too talented on the ground, and I think he's going to be able to wear him down and wrestle him down, but we'll see, though. Let's see if Dan Hardy can get his, biggest win in Pride FC here if he knocks out Matt Hughes. Melted Fighting Systems, SBG Ireland for Dan Hardy. Hideki Naguma's a referee. Ringside judges, here we go. They move in closer as Hardy's ready to attack. As Hughes prepared to be trying to get in close and get in some grappling here, but Hardy took the initiative as he doesn't trouble his opponent with a combination thing with a low kick. Hardy closing the distance, obviously looking to strike. 3-punch combo fails to land from Hughes. And 2 punches from Hardy don't land either. Hughes is able to glide him with a clinch. He's looking to trip him. That's not good, though. He's not able to trip him down. Instead, now Hardy's got control. Look at him up against the ropes. He does so. Looking for the needed clinch, but Hughes blocks it. Using his wrestling skills to prevent Hardy from throwing any more knees. He's pressed against the ropes. There's some small punches to the ribs. And there's an elbow to the face from the clinch. That's crazy. As some dirty boxing now. Trying to press him against the ropes. Another glancing elbow strike from the clinch. Looking for a knee strike to the thigh, but Hughes is able to seize that chance to create some space, and they circle out, looks like, as fails to land in a combo with an attempted roundhouse body kick. Takes a chance, and grabs Hardy into a clinch. You're looking for a solid fucking wrestling-based takedown. Matt Hughes not able to take him down is pretty crazy. I did not think Dan Hardy had this great takedown defense. As a Weezer almost always Hardy to create enough space to get free. Or a Whizzer as almost allows Hardy to create enough space to get free, but Hughes shuts that down immediately. Looking for the trip. He's got that trip now. Finally, he's got him down inside control too. Some elbows. Hardy deals with him fairly easily. Blocks Hardy as he tries to transition the guard. Halfway point now. Fires off a few punches there on 3-3-4. Blocks an attempt to pull guard. Throws a few weak-looking punches as he decides his next move. Pounds with elbows but can't land anything with any degree of power. Hardy tries to move to guard, but Hughes doesn't allow it. Fires away his short elbows, doesn't do anything in the way of damage. Hardy tries to pull guard on Hughes, but doesn't get in with the attempt. Pounds away with elbow strikes, but is in trouble by them. Blocks it into pull guard. Lengthy stalemate here results in them standing him back up. Hardy closes the distance, obviously looking to strike. Look like we see a grappling started again, but Hardy taking the initiative as he keeps on missing with these strikes. There we go. Now he lands a jab and a crunching right hook. Hardy steps in looking to unleash, and there is a jab, and then hits him with a superb right head kick that knocks him down. Is going to get finished to end out the first. Several big stomps and kicks. Hughes is somehow managing to hang on, as now he's got dominant position on the ground as Dan Hardy. He's unable to prevent Hardy from getting side control. There's a few right hands now as he's trying to pull guard on Hardy. Pounds away, but with punches does minimal damage there, and that's the end of the first round. Dan Hardy obviously winning that round thanks to the big knockdown, but that would have been crazy if Matt Hughes would have been able to survive the head kick, if he was able to just kind of withstand it, not get knocked down. He would have had a really good shot of winning that round. It was pretty close as far as strikes, obviously. It's about relatively the same. I know Hughes has a little bit more, but he, has the takedown too. But obviously Dan Hardy with that knockdown definitely won that round. But would have been interesting if he was able to survive it. Second round now as Hardy connects with a jab but misses the roundhouse body kick. As Hardy, again, looking confident, shortening the range, attacking with a quick flurry, rather, instead of 3 quick flurries. As a quick flurry, Hardy lands one of the 3, but Hughes avoids the big right. As he's taking a few gulps of breath now, Hardy's giving the first hit, and he's starting to tire now. As he misses all the strikes in the combination with a kick to the body, Hughes is going to be able to grab him now, looking for another takedown. Hardy defends it well. Again, with that whizzer, allows Hardy to execute a sharp turn, creating enough space to pull free of the grapple. That's pretty awesome from Dan Hardy there. As Hughes is aiming to get in close again. Can't intercept left jab, but hits a straight right on Hughes. Appeared to try to get in close again, but Hardy takes the initiative as Hardy can't connect the step strikes and hits a sithering kick to the legs of Matt Hughes. Attacks with a quick flurry. Hardy lands 2 of the 3 punches, but Hughes avoids the big right. Halfway point now. Can't connect the step strikes. The scores to the right to the body. Hardy closing the distance out, obviously looking to strike. Appeared to be trying to get in close. Hardy took the initiative. There's a left jab, and Hughes evades the big right. There's a jab and a stunning right hook on Matt Hughes, which another knockdown for Matt Hughes as he has been rocked. Can Dan Hardy finish him this time around? Looks like he's going to. As Hideki Nuguma's got to jump in and save Matt Hughes from taking any more shots. Statement win for Dan Hardy, being 7-1-1 now to beat someone who's had almost 40 fights under his record. Pretty crazy. I mean, Matt Hughes is definitely going into kind of the back end of his career, definitely with that loss. Even though he was the underdog, I thought he had a really good shot at winning this fight, but Dan Hardy really proven that he is an absolute threat in the welterweight division as he gives thanks to everyone at SBG Ireland. Is very responsive to all the fans of Gambit Sport and gives a show of respect to his opponent as well. It's our main event, Tetsuji Kato taking on Hellboy Joachim Hansen. As this should be a very exciting one. Now, Joachim Hansen has the advantage. Shudo style, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu style, but I've seen Joachim be able to stand up with the best of them. He's got the size advantage over him, at least height-wise. I'm sure weight-wise as well. As Sayama, Japan for Tetsuji Kato, Oslo, Norway for Joachim Hansen. This should be a lot of fun. Paresta, Laddie, NHB. This is Yuji Shimada's referee, ringside judges, as Tetsuji Kato, unsurprised with getting a loud ovation from the crowd as he makes his entrance. Now, here we go. They touch gloves. Hansen throws some strikes and a fast leg kick, but Kato is equal to all of them. Now, Kato clinches with him, trying to take him down. Can't do it, and takes control of the grapple does Hansen, looking for his takedown. That's not happening, but he's still using his wrestling as Kato is now taking control back. Looking for the takedown. They are just jockeying for takedowns. My God, as Hansen looking for there, finally Hansen's got one. As he's left on top of it, turtled up Tetsuji Kato. Takes the opportunity to stand up, albeit under back control, and Hansen's looking to just take him right back down, but Hansen can't get past the takedown. That's a great job there. Kato able to break free, and they circle back to the center. Hansen doesn't land any of the strikes that he threw at Kato, which Kato gives him a chance to clinch up with him. Can't get it, as Hansen now has control, and he's got the takedown again. This time he's able to keep him down there. Those are some small strikes, clearly slowing things down, though, so he can catch his breath. Obviously, a pretty chaotic 5 minutes. So now Kato looking for the arm from the bottom. He's finished people off with that before, so he has got to be wary of that. Looking for it again. Hansen blocks it. I mean, you are never in a comfortable spot with Tetsuji Kato there. As he's ready for it, and he immediately starts to scramble. Scramble results in Kato being on his back, pulling guard, so losing out, but he's still in a very dangerous spot. As he's looking for it a third time. Doesn't let it be taken now. Throws a few right hands, takes a moment to plan ahead. Fires off some handful of punches, each easily being blocked with gloves. Kato, it just takes one. He could keep on doing this for the next 3 rounds. It just takes one, and he's going to win this fight. So, he might as well try and go for it, as throws out some punches again as Kato. Hansen leans back to avoid him. Minute left. Yuji Shimada's going to stand him back up. As he can't connect the sub strikes, but then lands a nice straight right hand that lands hard. Hansen definitely confident in the striking, looking to short the range. There's a 1-2, but doesn't land either blow. Looking for the shot, but Hansen simply took the initiative. His left hand, but Kato evades the big right, and that's the end of the first, which a great round for Joachim Hansen. But, Tetsuji Kato, he went for those 4 arm bars from the bottom. It just takes one. It just takes one, as Hansen starts the round off with a left jab and misses the vicious right. Still confident, looking to shortening the range, as Kato's backing off, hits a weak flicked left hand. As there's a quick punch, doesn't land it though. There's a left jab while backing away. There's a quick 1-2, doesn't land either blow. Can't connect with a jab, it hits a nice straight right hand that lands hard as Kato comes in looking for the takedown. He's got it. Hansen pulls guard, and he's got a guillotine though. Kato is now in trouble. He gets a guillotine, but he cannot get Kato to tap out. My God. And looks like it wasn't perfectly applied. It's allowing Kato to breathe. It's finally released as Hansen may have gassed his arms trying to force the tap out. That is not good, as now Kato is trying to work to get past the guard. He allows the pass, but it's just a ploy to try and scramble. Scramble results in Kato underneath Hansen north-south. I don't know how the fuck that happened. As he scrambles, having felt Hansen start to try to shift towards side control, and Hansen is just inside control, so nothing really happened there. Looking for the knee strike. As again, Kato was ready for it, springs into life, bucking Hansen off and looking for the scramble. Scramble results in Hansen grabbing Kato, shoving him against the ropes. Using his wrestling skills to prevent that from being applied as far as attacking him up against the ropes. So there's a couple of shots to the ribs. 60 seconds left in the second. Kato works enough space to pull clear and circle out. Kato starting to slow down, perhaps conserving his energy. As Hansen also, given the first inning, starting to tire now. He can't connect the step strikes and scores a right roundhouse kick to the ribs, though, as Hansen look at the strike. Kato may have been aiming up getting close, but Hansen aggressively took the initiative. Hansen throws a quick punch, doesn't hit it though. There's a quick 1-2, doesn't land either blow. With seizing that opportunity, Kato now clinches up with him to end out the second, which again, Joachim Hansen, it's tough, I think Tetsuya Kato probably won that round. He had the takedown. I felt like he was doing a good bit of stuff. He was passing, as far as from the ground, and was trying to do his thing. That's a tough one to call. You could go Joachim Hansen because it felt like he was in control for the majority of the round, but I just felt like Tetsuya Kato had a little bit of a better round. It's very close, though. Very, very close. It comes down to this final round. Tetsuya Kato looked like he was going to shoot, but Hansen simply took the initiative. Throws a hook to the body, but Kato steps back to avoid it. Kato wants to grapple, but is clearly wary of his opponent's striking. There's a 1-2 from Hansen, fails the land, which is going to give Kato the chance to try and take him down. Hansen blocks it, takes control of it, looking for the trip. That gets blocked as well, then using his wrestling to take control of the grapple. Kato looking for it again. We just keep on tossing back and forth now. Kato looking to try and take him down. Yeah, that gets blocked. Hansen looking for it now. He's got it. Joachim Hansen with a huge takedown, gets side control of that. Throws a right hand, and now he blocks his tries to transition the guard. There's a few punches, trying to catch his breath. Blocks Kato, tries to transition the guard. Looking for the Kimura now. Kato fights that off. Tries to sweep Hansen, but rolls too far, gives up his back. That's not good. Let's see if Joachim Hansen could get the rear naked choke with a minute left. Probably going to have to get both hooks in if he's going to want to get this rear naked choke. Alright, well, it doesn't matter because Joachim Hansen is going to win this one by unanimous decision. That's a huge win for Joachim Hansen. And making that 27-10 for Tetsuya Kato. Tough, losing your last, after winning your last two, rather, losing another one here. Very, very tough. But, that's a tough guy in Joachim Hansen. He could have had him in the first, though, with an armbar from the bottom. 18-9-1 for Joachim Hansen, and that's a great win to cap off your 2008. If you're Joachim Hansen, getting a win in the main event, as it gives him an objective run at his fight camp, all his sponsors, all of his friends, family, and supporters. Asks who he'd like to face next. He replies that he has a lot of respect for the skills of BJ Penn, and thinks that would be a pretty crazy fight in the lightweight division. Obviously, BJ Penn is a savage, but I think that would be a great fight. Maybe in the future, maybe a 2009 fight. So we're just under the critical rating, the high critical rating. So that sucks. Some good fights, though. Just, like the Matt Hughes, Dan Hardy fight, a little one-sided. The Thiago Alves, Drew Pickett, that was pretty crazy. Thiago Alves getting a knockout win. But the Chris Lydle, Ryan Stout fight was really good, too. Just a lot of, fun upsets with the Gerard Mousasi and Chris Lydle. It's crazy. Chris Lytle's not even ranked. Getting a win over Ryan Stout. That's awesome. Absolutely awesome. A couple of popularities decreasing. A couple increasing, too. At least we were unchanged in Japan. That's all that matters. But we'll give a performance bonus to Thiago Alves, I think, and probably Chris Lydle, too. Chris Lydle did a really, really good job. That's probably it, if I had to guess, for the TV. But Chris Lydle made the most money, and so did Thiago Alves, thanks to the fight bonuses. Made $3 million. That's always a plus. Hell yeah. Thank you all for watching, and we'll catch you guys next time for more WMMA 5 action. Take care, everyone.